We're Zach and Annie, a Scotsman and an American,
who fell in love while working as camp counselors and then lived across the U.S. for the next 15 years, where we started a family and built a life together.
Just recently, we took a huge leap of faith, leaving everything behind in California in order to follow a new dream of moving to Scotland. Welcome back to winter in Scotland.
Sunny again.
As you can see from the title, we got Tesla.
Yeah.
For a week.
So Tesla, like we mentioned, thought we were cool. They reached out to us to see if we'd be interested in maybe being part of a promotional program for them, just a video touring the NC500. But I guess we didn't win the competition.
Yeah. Didn't make the cut. But they were still generous enough to let us use the car for a week. And it was great.
Incredible. Such a fun experience. We used it to do a whole bunch of activities, which we're going to go through in this video today.
Yes.
So a jam-packed week.
We've never had a new car, and this was as new to a car as we ever had. And it was awesome. All the cool features, remote start, heat it up in this cold winter, nice. Anytime you want. Charge it for like 15 minutes. You got 150 miles. They gave us access to the supercharger network. So it was unbelievable. Yeah.
I feel like we made out like bandits on this
yes.
one. We were pretty pleased with the experience. Unfortunately, we can't afford our own Tesla.
Keep watching though. Maybe one day.
I think my favorite feature, though, by far, was the screen shows cars and people that you're passing, but you can change it to Christmas mode, so it turns them into elves and Santa's sleigh and reindeer.
Yeah, all the cars are reindeer, people are elves, and the kids loved it. And then when you put the indicator on, it goes ching, like the bells
I did
chime.
not like that, because every time Zach was turning or doing anything, I was like, what are these chimes in my ear? Why are there chimes? But yeah, Santa's sleigh, I guess, needed the ambiance.
Yes. No, it definitely made driving so much easier. It's a complete adjustment. It's a different type of driving, but like for long drives, it was quite effortless. And yeah, just really thankful they're like, let us borrow it and trust us with it. And the kids were so disappointed when we had to take it back.
Yes.
And I picked them up from school in our old little car, like, where's the blue car? Where's the blue car?
So talking about driving, because we had a better car with cruise control, we decided that we were going to go do some sightseeing this week. And one of the things was the Edinburgh Light Show.
Yes. This is something I hadn't actually heard of until we moved back over here. And it's this huge light show, projector light show at Edinburgh Castle. And you get access into the castle, and there's all these different stations set up with like I said, light shows, and it talks you through the history of Edinburgh Castle and Edinburgh, and it was amazing.
It was so fun, and the lights were impressive. They had strobe lights, they had things that transformed into beautiful flowers on walls, they had a drag show.
They did.
That was interesting. All through light.
It was like a cartoon drag show of like
Mary Queen of Scots.
And just like old clothing that people would wear, and it was kind of funny take on trying to teach kids history about the clothing used to wear.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
We came in at the end of it, so didn't really understand what was going on. But no, it was fun, and it was on top of Edinburgh Castle, so I prepared the family for it to be cold, and it was cold.
Yeah, but it was good because it wasn't raining. And we got hot cocos, our favorite drink, of course. Went into their cafe. They had all different types. And then they had marshmallow sticks that you could do roasting with.
Yeah.
So they catered to the families, and I would recommend it to anyone.
Yeah. We were able to take the buggy, which was key, even on those cobbled stones. A little bumpy, but it worked well. And you got a great view over the city. It was a clear evening, and all the Christmas lights were up and all that.
You could see the things like the Ferris wheel down in Edinburgh City Centre. Right, that's the city centre.
Yeah, just off Princess Street, yeah.
And different rides, they were all lit up. It was really pretty. And the kids, of course, were then asking, can we go there next? It's like, no, one event tonight.
Yeah.
Nutella donut.
They spilled Nutella on my donut by accident, but I'll survive, I suppose.
Success. That was fun. Lots of lights to look at. The kids were entertained, and yeah, I liked it. And Zach now has the Tesla heating up from afar. We're walking back, and hopefully it's nice and toasty inside because it's freaking freezing.
All right, so today we're showcasing BottleBottle.
We've been trying out their tumblers and their Hydro X bottle designs, and honestly couldn't be much happier. Not only are they super stylish with tons of designs and patterns to choose from, but they're also high quality with so many thoroughly thought through features.
All the bottles are dishwasher safe. They come with a handle for easy transport. There's 2 drinking methods for whether you prefer to sip directly from the bottle or from a straw. And they even come with a secret hidden compartment to bring along keys, meds, or any other personal belongings you might need. They work great for hot and cold drinks, and because of that, they're now our entire family's go-to water bottle. If you want to check out their products, see the link in our description, and don't forget to use our code for 15% off. So after the success of Edinburgh Castle, we thought, well, we got this fancy new car. Let's drive to Stirling Castle.
Yeah, I mean, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
And then the next morning, we all loaded up.
We planned for everything. The kids were excited. They saw their first little snowfall.
Yes.
Little did we know that that was Storm Bert making his appearance.
I didn't realize just how quickly a storm could roll in and turn from these beautiful little snowflakes coming down to a full-on blizzard. It was blizzard-esque.
In East Lothian, it started as kind of just like slushy, barely snow rain, and we're like, okay, well, that's fine. And as we were driving closer to Edinburgh, it just got thicker and heavier and more to the point where we had to abandon because it just wasn't safe.
Yes, the road was getting icy and it was just bumper to bumper traffic. So our time to get up to Stirling Castle started off about an hour or so, an hour 30.
No, just over an hour.
Just over an hour. And it just kept adding minutes on to the GPS and it was not looking good. So we thought, well, we've always wanted to do the Christmas market. So let's go into town and do that.
Yeah, which was another terrible idea. we turned off the Edinburgh bypass, just an exit to get into Edinburgh, and they'd been having a lot more snow than us. And
yes,
in that area, there's lots of like hills and turns, and
it's
we were
very
just
hilly.
Creeping down. The car did great, actually. I was scared that the battery might die in the cold, but it did fantastic. But other people were slipping and sliding, and there was probably like 6 inches of snow on the ground.
There were, and there were buses. All of them we kept passing, one after another, kept saying out of service.
Not a good sign. Not a good sign.
And we were like, oh, okay, what's going on here? And then we realized they couldn't get up and down the hills, and we actually saw one sort of turn sideways and a car next to it on one of the big hills. So we realized there had been accidents.
Yes.
It wasn't so safe.
So anyway, we managed to crawl our way into the center of Edinburgh and started the small hike to the Christmas market in a full face of blizzard, essentially.
It was coming down so strong, and definitely at first the kids were so excited, like, this is great, this is fun, but we really haven't been around snow that much, so they don't know better than to stick their hands and gloves and toes underneath the snow. And it took us about 45 seconds until everyone was freezing.
We tried to warn them, but then
how do you warn kids of snow?
Those warnings
They
fell
see
on deaf
white
ears.
and they just want to go pick it up, make a snowman, whatever it is.
But at least we thought, well, we'll get to the Christmas market, get some hot chocolate, warm them up, and all will be forgiven.
Yes.
Christmas market was closed.
Yes. Nothing was labeled on the website, anything. I looked all over. Nothing said that it was closed. And yeah, I guess because of the inclement weather, they decided that it just wasn't safe and closed it down. I don't know if it got opened later in the day, but
Yeah, we didn't
not while we
hear
were there.
to see, but yeah, we had all 3 kids, the buggy, and Finnegan with us. So Annie quickly had to find
You can do it!
somewhere we could go with a dog to warm up.
Full speed!
It was too far to make it back to our car with the kids in the condition that they
That
were.
sounds like an Arctic exploration. But it really was. It
Like a
wouldn't,
quarter of a mile, but because the snow was coming down so heavily and the kids were so cold, they were at that point, it's sad to say, but they were all crying. And we were like, okay, we need to take shelter somewhere. And we looked up dog-friendly cafes, anything that we could find. And we came along.
yeah. Up on George Street, this fancy coffee house was dog friendly, and we're like, done.
Yes, I don't care what I have to pay.
Yeah.
I'm going in there, getting my kids warm, and we will get that hot chocolate.
Yeah, and we did. And then our daughter spilled it all over herself. Thankfully, she had her full like wet waterproof suit on thing, but yeah, it was a interesting day.
It was, but that coffee shop, highly recommend. I will 100% be going back there. Their stuff was really tasty, especially their lemon drizzle cake. I kid you not. Amazing.
When Annie started leading us to George Street, I was like, what expensive place have you found? But yeah, like I said, just needed something and it worked out great. And
It did.
we'll put the name up because I can't remember the name. You can?
Ooh, I don't want to say the wrong one.
Yeah, but yeah, it was really nice. So then after it warmed up, I decided to take Finnegan and our eldest back to the car, which was already preheating, to come and pick up Annie and the other two kids. And that should have been like a 10-15 minute drive. I think it took me about 35 minutes. If any of you know Edinburgh, because of things being closed, like there's an ice rink on George Street, so some roads are closed. I had to go up and over the Mound, which is basically just a giant, steep, twisting hill over from like the Royal Mile area towards Princess Street. And I think it took me about 20 minutes to do that at 1 mile an hour with people like slipping and sliding and just not a day to be driving anywhere. So picked them up, headed for home, and that was pretty much the end of that day because I was exhausted from just concentrating so hard on everything around me.
It's so hard to drive in snow.
And the kids were happy just to be inside and warm. So
I think we put on a movie and just like, okay, let us relax. We're all just going to relax now. So that was good. As good as it can be. I don't know if that's the right word.
We all survived.
Still fun in the end. We got some lovely pictures in the snow, so that was good. And then since we had plans to go to Stirling, we had this whole weekend planned and that had canceled. Oh, the one last thing, Stirling Castle was actually closed. We got a message after our reservation and when we were in the coffee shop and just was like, Stirling Castle is closed due to inclement weather. Yeah. So good thing we didn't continue trying to make it there.
Historic Scotland membership, which lets us get into the castles for free, but you still have to book a time slot. And our time slot was booked for, I think, between 10 and 10:30. Yep. And at 11 o'clock, they told us it was closed. So we're very glad we did not make that trip all the way there just to find out it was closed.
It would have been so horrible.
But just something to bear in mind, these places do close for very bad weather.
So later on in the week, we thought we really wanted to go see the castle. That didn't happen, but we thought we want to do that with the kids. So we're not going to do that, but maybe we can go up in that direction and see the Kelpies.
Yes. This is something we have been to before, but every time I go, it's impressive to me. Yeah. It's just stunning sculpture that almost comes out of nowhere. And like I said, we had the car, so it was a quick, easy drive and just as stunning as they always are.
It's just very magical seeing these giant sculptures against the blue sky. It was a lot to take in. I love going there too. I don't think when we first got married, they weren't even standing. I don't believe they were built until 2013.
Oof, you're going to get people in the comments now. I don't know. Yeah. I know. I feel like when we were dating, I brought you and took you to see them.
We'll have to look it up, but I thought it was 2013. Let's see. And
I have no idea, so I'm not weighing in at all. But they've expanded that whole area. It used to just be them there by themselves. Now there's like a big park and a car park and a
walk, lots to do with the kids. They have a cafe, toilets, a gift shop, which was fully loaded. Lots of fun stuff there. I actually picked up a few little
knickknacks.
Yeah, knickknacks.
So we didn't have time for this, but there is actually a tour inside of the Kelpies, which I didn't know about. We were so taken by the view, we filmed our video there, as you've probably seen, but didn't have time for a tour. So that's something we can go back to do another day.
Yep. But we didn't have time because we did already have plans to go up to this magic store that I've seen online. And I really wanted to experience it firsthand because on YouTube, it's totally different than actually going in and walking through it. And even Zach was impressed.
Yes. It was called the Lonely Broomstick in Falkirk. And it's essentially just a gift shop with a little drinks cafe. And like I said, these things are usually like, it might not be that good. Yeah, this place was incredible. Like theme park level attention to detail. The entire shop was filled with trinkets of Harry Potter and magic. And they had the motorcycle and sidecar that Hagrid flies around in. And I hate to say this, but especially for Scotland, like It was like top level.
It's like Disneyland there.
Yeah.
And if you like Harry Potter or you like magical, those types of things, it's definitely worth a visit. Every shelf was filled with something. There was no space left on anything that didn't have an item.
And things weren't stupidly expensive.
No.
Like at theme parks. So it was like, you could definitely go in there, get a couple of gifts for people, or they have a wand experience as well if you want to have your wand chosen.
I think the wand experience is either 18 or 20 pounds, and you get to go through the whole experience. And then you end up getting your wand in the end as well, I believe.
Yeah.
And the cafe. So I've never had butterbeer. It's something I've always wanted to try. And I finally got it, and it was so good and not too sweet either. And then we also got a hot chocolate with a chocolate frog on top. Also delicious. And these were only £3.50, I think.
Something like that, like for what it was, very reasonable. And the guy who made it, made it look perfect.
It was decked out.
Yeah. So highly recommend it. It would be worth a trip to Falkirk just to see that place if you're like a Harry Potter fan or anything like that.
And I don't really remember walking through Falkirk before. It's lovely. The buildings are so beautiful. Lots of history there as well. And I would have had fun just going and perusing all the different areas. But once again, time was limited. We had to get back for the boys' school pickup.
Yes, which was a breeze because the car did most of the driving. So we were home in a jiffy. So despite the blue skies, it is quite chilly today. I think we're at 0 or 1 degree Celsius, but we're here at Smeaton Garden Nursery just outside East Linton in East Lothian, and they have a coffee shop. So we'll be going in there to get some hot drinks to drink and to hold maybe.
Yes, the best way to finish out our week. Christmas trees. We got a fake one this year, which we'll show soon. And we'll see you next week. And coming up in the next few videos, get excited because we will be doing a complete home tour with all of our Christmas decor. What else do we have in the plans?
I don't know. We do this thing week by week, so.
We have some other good stuff. One thing is a Santa train.
Oh, yes.
Don't want our kids to hear that one, but yeah. So enjoy, follow along, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.